Welcome back to our channel. 5-cent coin nickel. The 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel, has a long-standing history in the United States and has undergone various changes since its inception. The nickel currently in circulation prominently features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, while the reverse has depicted Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate since 1938. Historical background: early coinage and the introduction of the nickel. The U.S. Mint was established in 1792. Banned initial denominations were higher with no 5-cent piece. The first 5-cent piece, known as the half-dime, was introduced in 1794 and continued until 1873 when the nickel replaced it. The first true nickel was minted in 1866 and its composition was initially 75% copper and 25% nickel. Design changes through the years. The Liberty Head design was used from 1883 until 1913. The Buffalo Nickel 1913-1938 became iconic for its depiction of a Native American and a bison. The Jefferson Nickel design was introduced in 1938 and has been modified over the decades. Composition: the composition of the nickel has varied over time. In 1942, during World War II, the nickel was made with silver due to wartime metal shortages. After various changes in metal prices and availability, the standard composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, was restored in 1965. The nickel in 1995: circulation and production. In 1995, the United States Mint produced several billion nickels, continuing their circulation without major interruption. The minting process involved various facilities and quality control ensured that coins met rigorous standards. Design features: the 1995 nickel retained the Jefferson design. The minting year prominently featured, ensuring collectors could easily identify modern coins. Collectors' interest: certain coins from 1995 became interesting to collectors, particularly if they featured errors or unique characteristics. Commemorative editions and special mintages occasionally generated interest, and that year was no exception. Public perception: the nickel often faced challenges regarding its continued relevance due to inflation and the rising cost of materials. Discussions around the practicality of the nickel and lower denominations were more prominent. In the mid-90s, cultural significance: the nickel is often featured in popular culture, illustrating its role beyond mere currency but as a symbol of American history and values. Economic context of the 1990s. Economic climate: the U.S. economy in 1995 was characterized by a period of growth, technological advancement, and increasing consumerism following the recession of the early 90s. The availability of coins, including the nickel, played a role in day-to-day transactions despite the growing trend toward credit and electronic payments. Inflation and currency discussion: as inflation steadily increased, discussions surrounding the nickel's value and the feasibility of maintaining low-denomination coins grew. This conversation has continued into the 21st century. Technological advancements: the rise of new technology, including ATMs and electronic banking, changed how people interact with coins, including the nickel. Legacy of the nickel: post-1995 changes in coinage design. The U.S. Mint has introduced various redesigns and commemorative coins post-1995, including special editions celebrating statehood or historical figures. The nickel has remained a staple in American coinage, adapting to the changing economic landscape. Collector community: interest in coin collecting has grown, with many enthusiasts focusing on specific years for mintages like 1995. The role of the internet has transformed how collectors buy, sell, and trade coins, including the 5-cent piece. Modern-day relevance: despite discussions on eliminating lower denomination coins, the nickel remains in circulation and continues to hold value in American commerce. Its design and historical significance ensure its legacy. Start with a surprising fact about the 1990 Jefferson Nickel that many viewers might not know, like its rarity or Unique features introduce the topic of the 1990 Jefferson Nickel, explaining its historical context and why some people believe it might be worth more than its face value. Outline the challenge of determining the value of a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, highlighting the factors that can influence its worth. Discuss the specific characteristics of the 1990 Jefferson Nickel that collectors look for, such as mint marks, condition, and any potential errors. Reveal the findings from your research or expert opinions on whether the 1990 Jefferson Nickel can be considered valuable and what collectors should be aware of. Summarize the main points covered in the video, reiterating the potential worth of the coin and what viewers should take away from it. The 1990 USA 5 cents coin, also known as the Jefferson Nickel. Stay tuned to find out if this common-looking coin could make you a millionaire. Let's start with the historical background. The Jefferson Nickel, first introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and has been in circulation for over 80 years. The design features the famous third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and is Virginia Homenello on the reverse. Asterisk images of Thomas Jefferson and Montello appear on the screen. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced nickels at two facilities, Philadelphia with no mint mark and Denver marked with 80. The Philadelphia Mint produced around 658 million nickels, while the Denver Mint produced about 641 million. Asterisk display the production numbers on screen. Asterisk Philadelphia Mint no mint mark 658 M83N. Coins Denver Mint D641 M618. THOOO coins with hundreds of millions of these coins produced. What makes the 1990 Jefferson Nickel so special? Like many coins, the true value lies in its condition, rarity, and any potential mint errors. Asterisk cut to close-ups of error coins such as M strikes and off-center minting. One of the main factors that can drive up the value of a 1990 nickel is if it has any rare minting errors. Some of the most sought-after errors include off-center strikes, double die obverse, and die cracks. These mistakes occur during the minting process, and when collectors discover them, the value can skyrocket. Show a chart with examples of error coins and their potential values. Although not all 1990 nickels are rare, those in exceptional mint state condition, particularly with errors, can fetch a high price at auction. Let's talk value in general circulation. The 1990 nickel is worth face value just 5 cents. However, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A coin in uncirculated or near perfect condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can be worth significantly more. Asterisk show graded 1990 nickels in plastic cases with high mint state grades like Ms. 65 and above. Nickels graded M65 or higher have been known to sell for $20 to $100 or more. However, the real jackpot comes when you find a flawless 1990 Jefferson Nickel with a Ms. 67 or Ms. 68 grade. These can be valued at several thousand depending on demand. Asterisk cut to footage of auction houses and online bidding platforms. In fact, some 1990 nickels have sold for impressive prices at auction due to their rarity and high grades. But here's where things get really interesting. Recent auction results in the last few years. Collectors have paid significant amounts for pristine examples of the 1990 nickel. A rare mint state 1990D Jefferson Nickel in Ms. 68 condition sold for over $1.5 at auction. Asterisk show the auction result on the screen with details of the coin. These high prices are driven by the rarity of finding a nickel from 1990 in such exceptional condition. Remember, the majority of these coins have been in circulation for over 3 decades, so most of them show signs of wear. Asterisk cut 2 clips of circulated coins with scratches and dull surfaces. Could your 1990 nickel be worth millions? While it's unlikely that a typical 1990 nickel will fetch millions, high-grade rare error coins can still be worth a fortune. It's important to get your coins graded by a professional service if you think you've got something special. Asterisk cut to a professional grading service evaluating a coin who knows your 1990 nickel could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered, wondering how to check if your 1990 nickel is worth more than just pocket change. Here's what to look for: asterisk text on screen with book bullet points. Asterisk condition: look for coins with no signs of wear, sharp details, and a shiny surface. Mint marks: check for a D mint mark from Denver or no mint mark from Philadelphia. Errors: look for amias strikes, double dices, or other unusual characteristics. Grade: consider getting your coin professionally graded if it appears to be in near perfect condition. Always examine your coins carefully and don't hesitate to consult a professional if you believe you found a rare specimen to tap up. While most 1990 nickels in circulation are worth their face value, there's always the chance that a rare high-grade coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you're lucky enough to find one in mint condition, or with a rare error you might just strike gold. Asterisk footage of a happy collector holding a valuable 1990 D-mint mark. Now this coin sold for around $250. Now, why would this coin sell for $250 if it's just a regular 1990 nickel? Well, it all is in the grade itself, graded by PCGS at a mint state 66. So the coin grading scale only goes up to 7070 is the best condition you can get. That's why this coin sold for $250. You gotta keep in mind, in 1990 for the D-mint mark they produced over 663 million of these coins, so they're not rare to find or rare to have. You can have a 1990 that's scratched up or nicked up or been circulated that's only going to be worth a nickel, but in this case it's a very high grade to $150. Now here is a mint error from 1990. This Jefferson nickel here has been double struck. It also has an obverse blockage as well. That is amazing, that double strike there. That second strike is off center, of course we can see there, and the image displayed something like this, probably not finding in the coin roll right, but this coin did sell for over $215. Next up is a coin that sold for over $285, and that's because this is where the 1990 Jefferson nickel design was struck onto a 10-cent blank planchet, so a Roosevelt dime planchet. That's why the whole nickel design does not fit onto the planchet. To $185 for that coin. Now we also got to consider that these high-grade coins have full steps. Here's an example of what full steps looks like. A lot of modern coins, it's kind of normal for those coins they have full steps. There are certain years that I have talked about in my full step nickel videos that you want to look for that are more rare. I also have that information in my book, that is. Now for this coin, this 1990, it is from a famous collection. It does have the mint state 67 grade so that will give it all of its value. This coin sold for over $1,000. Again, super risky to grade these coins, so even if you have a 1990, it looks like it's a good condition. It really has to be flawless to get a top of the line grade. Take that into consideration. You could have this at a men's state 65 and it not be worth anything at all, really. So getting that 67 full steps is very, very difficult. Just keep that in mind. Now for the P Network 1990, they did produce over 661 million of those. Just like the Diva mark, they produced hundreds of millions of those. So again, not rare in terms of how many they made. Now here is the 1990 S-mint mark. That is the proof nickel, graded at nearly a perfect grade, a proof 69. Ultra Cameo by NGC. This coin also does have a mint error. It's got a double diobverse. So if you have a 1990 proof set, look for doubling on the nickel with your coin microscopes. Again, we have those available on. You can see the doubling here on the lettering, on the phrasing, God We Trust, on the initials FS. A look for that doubling there on the proof coin from 1990 proof nickel. It is the estimate mark. Of course, this coin sold for around $900 because of the grade and because of the doubling. Now for the S-mint mark, they're going to produce a lot less of those coins, of course, right, because they're not intended for a circulation like the business strike coins. So for the 1990s Jefferson nickel, they only made around 3.2 million, almost 3.3 million of those coins, so a lot less than 600 million. Now here's a 1990 S mint mark that Has a perfect grade, it does not have any mint errors, no doubling, it is the proof coin. It's not the regular business strike, and like I say, it's got that proof 70 deep. Cameo perfect grade this coin sold for. Thanks for watching my videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.